Just my camera. Oh shoot, my thing down. Peace, how you doing? Greetings. I greet you like I always greet you. BB for Hodier. Not gonna be long. I was just really watching ESPN. Um, and I saw that they were talking about John Gruden. And John Gruden had a racist email that leaked. And if anybody don't know who John Gruden is, he's a subpar would be a generous word, head coach that he gets the pass of his skin color, which allows him to get a lot of jobs. And if I'm not mistaken, he was influential. He was the one that won that Super Bowl, Tampa Bay. And what a lot of people don't know is that Super Bowl team was really Tony Dungy's Super Bowl team. But we like to act like we don't understand or we ignore the politics that get played when they move a black man out of a position that has built a championship powerhouse. And another example of where it was done with Golden State and Mark Jackson. And they removed him and brought Steve Kerr. So we kind of try to act like it's just, this black coach didn't get the job done, blah, blah, blah. John Gruden has never been a real good coach. And a lot of people even question why he had the job for the Raiders in the first place. But anyway, there was a leaked email. And so if anybody has what email said, I don't know. Hang on, let me get my charger so I don't lose, because this could be a long message. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Because I don't want to rush through this message, and my laptop is threatening to die on me. And I don't want to rush through this video. Because sometimes we live our life in a rush, and everything we do is we rushing time. And we got to get better with our time management and how we even react to time. So back to my message. So a lot of people are even questioning why John Gruden was in the position to have this job in the first place. So I'm not sure yet, because I haven't come across what the email said, but it does have some racist content, whatever that is. And what's interesting is I was paying attention, because you kind of know what you're going to get from Stephen A. Smith. He always going to spread his butt cheeks or suck up for the white man. He don't want the white man to have no blame. And when he does try to place any kind of blame on the white man, it's only from a forced perspective. And what I mean when I say a forced perspective is like he feels like he has to do it to balance how much he beat up on black players or black owners, or not black owners, but black coaches. So it's kind of like a force, like, I don't want people to think this, but people already peeped Stephen A. Smith's hand. So what kind of tripped me out was, even Shannon Sharp said it to a certain degree. And what Shannon Sharp says, because he's supposed to be the black personality on that show. And if I'm mistaken, he has a white woman as his bed partner. So you really can't take them serious. They can say some radical or whatever things, but you really can't take them serious. And what's the interesting part is none of them think that he should be fired or reprimanded. They just say he should stand and face his black players. And Keyshawn Johnson, who played with him, had an interesting take. He said, I tried to tell people back then that he is a bad person. He said he's not a good person, but y'all was saying Keyshawn Johnson is a diva, and this is that, because this is what we have, the nature that the media does to black players. And so, oh, well, just like Kyrie Irving, how they're dealing with Kyrie Irving. And I'm tying this into Kyrie Irving because they feel like, okay, he shouldn't be reprimanded, or there should be no consequence for him saying racist things, because they said, he wasn't, hired by the NFL when he said these things, as if, these are isolated, your racism isolates. He wasn't a part of them, during this time. So he shouldn't be, face any problems or any criticism, or however they wanted to word it. But interestingly, when Kyrie just simply says, hey, I want to be objective to this vaccine. Maybe I don't want to take this vaccine. Maybe there's something deeper to this. They can't take Kyrie having a difference of opinion. So Kyrie is looked at, number one, just check it out in the media. They always want to project Kyrie as the distraction, because they don't like when basketball is not your number one, or football, or entertaining, or getting the white man his next championship, or playing for the next championship. It's not your sole priority. And what we got to do as fathers is stop teaching our children to get out here and work hard for these racist coaches. Because to swing back around to John Gruden, okay, does that mean because he gets up there and he answers it just like Drew Brees when he got caught saying something? Just like a lot of them when they say these things, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I could be, Brett Favre said the same thing when he kind of rendered his verdict on the George Floyd thing. Drew Brees have said some things. Now, the interesting part about this is, who do they make majority of their money off of? Black players. This is real $40 million slaves. So they say, well, he shouldn't face any kind of consequence for this. But now last part, because I'm not going to be long with this video. In the racist tweet, in the racist mentality, in the racist statement, has racist actions. So what do I mean by those racist actions? Could that mean that he could work certain players or certain black players a little bit harder than he works the other ones? Or could he be a little bit more unkinder to certain black players than he are to others? But yet, we still want our players to just forget this and just play with him. Because we teach, you got to be an ultimate professional. This is what Negro man Stephen A. Smith says. You got to be a professional. Kyrie, now he called several times for Kyrie to lose money. Because the apologetic Negro he is, I've never seen this out of John Gruden. That ain't the white man he showed me. Because they are pretenders. They are liars. They are fakers. So, in a sense, we have to, and I'll get back to that. So, in a sense, we have to understand what we are sending our children into when we're sending them to play for these institutions, to play for these coaches. What if we find out right now, and y'all know how I think, but what if the players are to find out at this moment that Saban is a racist? How many championships have Nick Saban won off of black talent? Now, don't give me it with some white players in there too, because we know who the dominant players were. Stop playing these games. So what if we find out Nick Saban? What if we find out Bill Belichick? That really to fathom right there. What if we find out Phil Jackson? Remember Scottie Pippen said that about Phil Jackson. And the Negro man came to his rescue. When he said, and they said, Scottie is just reacting because he's upset about The Last Dance. When he said that thing with Tony Kukoc, then we can make the case and say, well, maybe Scotty wasn't playing. We can do that if we want to just talk sports and play the semantics on that. But pay attention to what he said. He wanted Tony Kukoc, in a sense, to look like the great white hype while he benched him and wanted him to take second place. See, racism cannot be just confined in one way. It can be subtle, or it can be flat out just blatant. And we all know Phil Jackson is a real, he's big on psychology. So he could be an intelligent slave driver. But nonetheless, does that not make him a slave driver? We got to think about these leagues that we busy trying to breed our boys for. But that's all I wanted to say. I probably will be back and build on this more because topics like this will just always kind of get me. And it doesn't get me upset. It gets me when our people sit up here and play blind and act like, oh, that's not really a big deal. It's more to that. No, it's really not. But that's all for right now. I shall return. And I leave you in the words that I greeted you in, a BB for Hodier, African liberation for African people.